Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We're going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together, putting on our makeup and learning a Bible memory verse together. Speaking of that, our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And then all last week, we were working on a verse from Psalms. My cup overflows with blessings, Psalm 23:5. I hope you enjoyed getting to work on that. I was sick, so you actually had an extra week, so we should have that one down super good. Well, our verse for this week is going to be, let me get that one off there. There we go. It's going to be still and know that I am God. We're hanging out in the Psalms again, and that one's from Psalm 46:10. Actually, let me get that on the screen. So let's just kind of say that one together. You ready? Be still and know that I am God, Psalm 46:10. So we'll be working on that all during the podcast or during our live this morning. And then we'll be working through that all this week. So I hope you are enjoying those graphics and videos and things all designed to help you get down that memory verse a little bit better to hide that word in your heart. So we're going to get that scrolling across the bottom of our screen. And let me actually get that chat going because I can hear it dinging already. Good morning. All right. So we are going to start out with a good preparation for our skin. So we're going to start out with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Primer. And I like this one because it's a little bit grippy. It's going to help control oil. It's going to even out your fine lines and wrinkles, any pores you have, all that good stuff. So one pump is going to do you. You're going to put that on there, get it between your fingers. Start out in your problem areas. I usually start out in the center of the face and work out because most people are going to have pore problems in the center. Also, if you'll use that around your lips just like that, you will have lipstick last a little bit better. Your liner will stay a little bit better. You'll just love it. Just do it. Stick it on your lips. All right. So we're going to move to our concealer. I know, right? It's crazy this morning. Okay. So Bye Bye Under Eye. I am the shade 11 Light Nude. You don't have a shade you love, come in and see me. We'll get your shade matched. And then you'll have a shade you love. Love this because it does such a great job with coverage. Plus, it has the typical IT Cosmetics anti-aging properties all in it, so win-win. So we're just going to use a small ribbon of that. We're going to start out in whatever you consider your problem area. So if you've got blemishes, you're just going to dot it on there. If you have redness, you can dot it on there. For me, it's going to be the darkness under the eyes. So if you've got less things, you'll probably use less of it, but it doesn't take much, I will tell you. I have redness here, so I'm using it to cover this. I'm using it to cover that. I'm using it for the darkness. I got red on my nose. I kind of like it on the nose. I have a tendency to touch my nose. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I have a tendency to touch my nose through the course of the day. And for whatever reason, the Bye Bye Under Eye being on the nose helps that foundation to hang out a little bit longer. It lasts just a little bit better. So I kind of use it. I guess it's almost like a foundation primer in that respect. All right. And today we're going to be using... this right here is going to be the Beauty Blender. I believe this is like Once Upon a Time. What is this one called? Yeah, Once Upon a Blend. All right. And so it comes with this cute little stand. So it's not rolling all over the top of your makeup station, countertop, whatever you're using. So damp Beauty Blender. And we're just going to use that pointy tip for our concealer. Good morning to you too. Oh, I didn't tell you what the theme was yet. So today we're going to be playing again with the Olori III. And we're going to be doing a little, I don't know if it'd be called aqua or teal, but that and orange. I think it'll be nice, kind of opposing colors. But we're just going to play with that today. So get that concealer. All right, once you've got that, everything you need to conceal, we're going to move to our foundation. And I am using the Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear. This is their new formulation. And in this one, I'm the shade 225N. You'll notice if you're still using an old one, that the shade names have kind of changed a little bit. So we can come in, we can get you adjusted and matched. Some of the shades went away, so we may have to choose a new color for you, but no worries, we got you. So just a tiny pump, and we're just going to work through sections of our face. Just kind of dabbing and blurring, getting that foundation evenly distributed. All right, we're going to use another partial pump. And that is correct. With this foundation, you do have a little bit of a dry time on this one. So you could literally just dab the whole face if that's how you like to do it. There's not really a wrong way to do this. All right, another partial pump. Yeah, I know we've worked with some in the past, like when we were using the Fenty. That one dries down pretty good. So that one you kind of want to do just like a section at a time, unless you're super fast, one or the other. And we're just blending that up to where the concealer was. Another partial pump. And we're going to blend out that neck. Oh, good morning to you too. I missed you last week too. I am feeling much better. Thank you for asking. All right, another partial pump. Gonna get the forehead. I know, it's just about time. Look at that. I have these visions of grandeur where I'm just going to let my hair color grow out, and then it starts growing out and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? Okay, not just me. All right, so now we've got our foundation. We are going to set our foundation, then work on a little bit of contouring. So today I'm going to be using the Lancôme. This is a Long Time No Shine. This does come with a puff in it. So you'll need to remove the puff from the container, put the lid back on, and then give it some shakes upside down and let that powder work through those little tiny holes. I like a pretty good amount of powder in the reservoir, which did not happen that time. As you start to use the powder, I think those little holes kind of clog up a little bit. So I don't know, maybe it needs a different design. So let's see if we can get this now. Okay, we'll work with it. Okay, so we're going to use the puff that we have. And we're going to start out under the eyes. We want to get that before anything starts wrinkling or creasing. All right, then we're going to work down the center. Just pressing that into your foundation. Okay, there wasn't much left on that lid. Let's try that. There we go. And we're just pressing that in. A little bit of a blur, not too much sliding though. We're not trying to work the powder off. We're trying to set the powder in. So if you work it too much by blurring, then there's, well, then you're actually removing your foundation. We're not trying to do that. Okay, we're just pressing that in. I feel like, here we go. Okay, once you feel like you have got everything set, we are going to move on to our contouring. So for today, for the low light, the bronzing, well, those can be two separate things, but this is kind of a cool bronzer from NARS. This is called the Laguna 02. And I know this is a little warm, but you can kind of see sort of a nice, cool, with a little tinge of warmth to it. We're going to be using the It Cosmetics dual-ended brush. This is actually a foundation brush. We're going to use this end for the bronzer and this end for the highlighter. So we're going to start out with this flat side here. And we're going to work just above where the hollow of your cheek is. And then up the side of that temple. Right, because when we put on our foundation, we've evened out the color, which is what you want. But then you have to put some of that shape and definition back in. Still using the flat side. Just up along that hairline. Now we're going to use the flat side. I mean the edge right here. We're going to go right underneath that jawline. Give that a little more definition. And then we're going to use that same side of the brush and work out our nose. All right. Now we're going to be using for the highlighter, the MAC. This is the Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Just has a nice, pleasant kind of, little bit, I'd call it more of a shimmer than a sparkle. So not really glitter in it, but it does have a nice shimmer. We're going to work on the top of the cheekbone right over here, and then right up next to the eye right there. And this is going to give us a little definition, elevate those high parts. Make sure you hit that cupid's bow. All right. Now in between where we just put the highlighter and the bronzer, we're going to put our blush. Now today, because we're doing kind of an orange sort of theme. Oh, you know, maybe I should have done the orange. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to switch to the Juvia's Place. This is the Blushed Volume 6. You can see these colors here. So we don't want to go too crazy. These are very pigmented. So we're going to be living in this one right here, which is the lighter one of the two. So you're going to take your blush brush. This is a MAC. Just give it a little bit because I'm telling you these things are pigmented. We're going to go between those two and then up between the two on the side. Oh yeah, I like that. And then up here, just a smidge. You don't really need to add any extra to the brush for that. We're just using what's already on there. All right, and that was a little orangey, so I'm going to come back with that highlighter and just soften that a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's take a look and say our verse together. It should be it should be scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. So be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. See, you almost got it down already. Okay, we are going to go to our lips now. So a little bit of a transition. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Liner Pencil. And this is in the color Bang. Just kind of a nice, pretty orange. So we're going to be using that. And then we'll use the orange lipstick on top of that. So we're going to start out in that Cupid's bow. Just get you a nice heart going. And then work it out to the corner. We're going to come just inside that line with a little bit lighter pressure. Okay, take a look back. See if you like the shape you got. All right. And today we're going to be using, this is the MAC. This is the amplified cream lipstick. And this is in the color Mirage. I tell you, almost every time I wear this, I get compliments about it. I have sold so much Mirage off of my lips, it's not even funny. And we want to cover over all of that lip liner pencil that we put on. We don't want to actually see the lip liner pencil. Okay. I know, it's such a cute color, isn't it? All right. So today we're going to be playing with the Olori III, and then actually well, I guess we can just do it with this one. Okay, so we got the Olori III palette today. And we're going to be using this color here up on the top of the brow. We're going to use this color here as an accent. And then this is going to be kind of like our liner. And then we're also going to use this to help kind of do a mock cutified cut crease. Okay, so we're going to start out first living in this right here. Oh my gosh, I've lost my brain. I have no eyeshadow brushes. Okay, grabbing a pile. So just start out with an all-over shadow brush. Like this one here. This is actually a concealer brush, but I like it for all-over eyeshadow. So it's flat, it's nice, it works. Okay, again, so we're going to be in this one right here, and we're going to use that up. On the top of the brow bone there. There we go. Actually, let's just go from bottom to top with this. I think it'll make it a little bit easier today. So whole lid is going to be powdered with this. Okay. Now we are going to take an angled shadow brush. Like this one here. See, it's got a little bit of an angle on it. And we're going to take the flat edge here and go in the shadow like this. So we're just going to get shadow on that very edge of it. We're going to work along our socket bone right there, working from the inside to the outside, and then we're going to come in about halfway. So shadows on there. There you go. And then about halfway on the bottom. And then we're going to take just like 2 dabs and we're going to blend that up. If you have hooded eyes like I do, you're going to want to blend it up to about right there. Same thing on the other side. Yeah, it's a tone on tone. So, well, actually, you can see it much better in the video than it looks like it in person. Um, we're just trying to give some definition, and then we're going to come back in with the blue in just a minute and have some fun. Okay, couple of taps, blend that out up on the top. There we go. Okay, now for some fun. My eyes watering a little bit though. Okay, so let's take the liner brush. Liner brush looks like this. And we're just going to get shadow on the very edge of it. We're going to go from the inside. And we're just going to put an edge on that orange we just did. Yep, you're just doing a line. Okay, now that we got that, we're going to work from where you ended across to the middle. If they don't quite meet, just turn your brush upside down and meet them. There you go. Now we're going to use the side of the brush and just kind of blend that up a smidge. Yes, I did add just a little bit of shadow on there. Okay. Any fallout happening right now, you can take your little duster brush, just get that off. Remember, light sweeping. I'm going to put some eyeliner on, and then we're going to take care of the shadow on the under of the eye. Okay, so we're going to grab our NYX retractable. This is just in black. And we're going to go halfway across the top. There you go. And then halfway across the bottom. Now remember, you can do this with any eyeshadow combination. With this particular one, you're going to need the all over shadow color, so something that kind of blends out that you like. You could use a white, you could use a tan, any kind of fleshy color would work too. Then you're going to need a dark, which will be where we use the orange, and then kind of a medium darkish, which would be the blue. All right, so now we're going to grab that liner brush again, and we're going to go to, well, dust it off. We're going to go to the orange. And we're going to do that under the eye from the outside corner to the inside. You may need to add just a little bit. Usually it takes me about 3 swipes. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. And that will usually give you enough shadow to fill in the whole thing. All right, but because we're adding that blue in there, let's dust our tip off. So get your tissue out, dust that off. And now we're going to go into the blue. We're going to add a little fun on the inside corner and then work that down just a little bit. So on the edge of the blue, and then we're going to do that there. Bring it in here. Oh. And if you want, you can connect those here. I think I'm going to give a little more up here. Okay, I feel like we need the blue represented a little bit more. I'm actually going to take a flat, like a pan brush. And there we go. And just give it a nice blend out. That's what we needed. And that orange can hold its own. You're good there. If you have blue eyes, I tell you, orange will just blend out. Okay, so if you see any transfer, you can go ahead and dab that. There we go. So one more dust brush. And we're going to move on to our liquid liner. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. This is in the shade black. And we're just going to give a light eyeliner to the top lid so that when we add our lashes, we will not have any kind of gap. It just also gives nice definition. You can see the difference between the two eyes. This one just really draws you in, and this one leaves a little something. So just a nice thin line. And I store this brush upside down on my, like this, so that the tip always has the most fluid in it. The tip doesn't dry out that way. All right, now whatever you're going to be using for your brows, you'll do that here. For me with Fashion Colored Hair, I am using, this is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil Crayon in the color Cupcake. So whether you're using Benefit, Anastasia, whatever you've got, this is where you'll do your brows here. So we're just going to get those colored in, filled in, whatever your joy. If you do not like the shape of your brows or the color, you can come in and have Olivia tint your brows. She can wax your brows. She can thread your brow. She can laminate your brow. So if God gifted you with great brow hair, but it's not going the right direction, come in and get a lamination. You'll love that. All right, we're going to catch the other side here. There we go. Making sure we fill in across the top as well. Yeah, I think I need to come in. I know. Okay. When you have your brows exactly the way that you want them, there we go. Then we will be ready to put on our mascara and our lashes. So, man, I just love that Olori 2 palette, or Olori 3 palette. So pretty. Okay, so I had to switch eyelash curlers. I have no idea. At some point, I lost an eyelash curler. How do you do that? I do not know. So I've been using the Tweezerman. This one is the Tweezerman Onyx Great Grip Eyelash Curler. I'm super liking it. I like the rubber stop here. For whatever reason, it does not pinch your eyelid. So if you have trouble with pinching your eyelid, try this lash curler out. I think you'll like it. I've been pleasantly surprised. So we're going to say our verse while we're doing our crimping, so we get a nice curl in our lashes before we put our false lashes on. So I want you to feel the spot. You know, put that down. There you go. When you crimp it, you do not want to feel it pinching your lid at all. There you go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. And that is be still and know I am God. Psalm 23, 5. Was that 23, 5? No, wait. 46:10. 23, 5 was the last one. Okay. Be still and know I am God. Psalm 46:10. Okay, by the time you do this a couple of times, you're going to have that verse down. Okay, here we go. Other side. We're going to crimp that there. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. One more time. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. And that is your timer for your lashes this week. So we're going to mascara the top and the bottom, and then we'll put those false lashes on. I am using the Bad Gal Bang mascara today. This is in the shade of black. And we're just making sure that if you have black lashes, you can probably bypass this step. I do not. Here we go. Just a little color on there. And if you, like me, touch your eyelid, you can just dust it off. That's why I usually keep my brushes out still until I am fully finished with the entire eye process, because you just never know when you're going to have to touch something up. And we're just doing a light coat. But we are making sure we get everything covered. And now for the bottom lashes. This one's very hard to do without from here. Okay, so bottom lashes. Here we go. And these, you're going to do a little bit more of a generous coat because these don't get false lashes on them. You want to make sure there's a good balance between the lash on the top and the lash on the bottom. No wimpy lashes. There we go. All right. And today we're going to be using a Juvia's Place lash. I know, one of my favorites. This is called Zaria. And on the false lash, no matter what brand of false lash you're using, these are already trimmed to my eye. But when you trim your false lashes, you're going to do it from the outside edge. Now, these are super easy to tell because they're a flare. So you got a little lower lash volume here, little more lash volume there. So with the Zaraya, you're just going to trim off from this outside edge. You'll do that before you ever try to put the lash on. So just kind of get a dry fit. So I'm using the Velour Lash Tools. So this is kind of what that would look like. So you're going to get the lash out of the box, hold it in the center, and then you'll just kind of set it in place and see if it's too long, if it's just right. That way, you can make it better to have the lash be a little bit too short than to have the lash be too long. Here's what you're going to feel if the lash is too long. You're going to feel maybe a combination of both or one or the other. A little poke here and a little poke on the inside. Also, you'll be a little more susceptible to lifting on the inside. So if you always feel like your lash is lifting on the inside, they're probably a little bit too long. So when you set your lash on, the outside edge you want to be almost to the edge all the way, but the inside can be in just a little bit and you'll be totally fine. We've added that eyeliner, so it's going to forgive and cover any sins with as far as the shortness of the lash goes. Some people only put lashes on the outside edge anyways, so then you're totally covered. Now the adhesive that we're going to be using today is going to be the Allure. This is the 18-hour lash glue, and I like the paddle on this one rather than a brush. You can see it's just kind of got a little paddle there. So we are going to put adhesive on the top of the band there. And then we're going to put it on the inside edge of that band where it's actually going to be touching the eyelid. So we'll get that adhesive there. And then we're just going to set that down. That's all kind of twisted around. There we go. And then you grab the other lash. Same thing. Hold it in the center. We're going to go on the top edge. And then we'll do the inside edge. That's correct. Lash glue does not go on the hairs. I mean, if you did that, what's probably going to happen is you're going to end up, when you remove the lash, you're going to end up pulling your eyelash hairs out. And I don't know anybody who wants to do that. Eyelash hairs are precious. So you're going to give the lash adhesive about 30 seconds to kind of dry down. You'll notice that it's ready when it loses a little bit of its shine. You can kind of fan it a little bit to sort of speed up the process, but you want it to lose just a little bit of its shine, and then you'll know that it's ready. So we're going to hold that lash right in the center there. We're going to look down just a little bit and set that right where the lash meets your lid. Unless you have a little something going on. Let me see if I can get that off. There we go. Try that again. There we go. And then we're going to walk that lash around. So we're going to grab the top there and put that there. And then we're going to grab the outside edge and put that there. Yeah, now you can see I got a little lifting. That's no big deal. You just put it back down. A little bit of lift and then putting it back down actually helps it dry a little bit better. So. And then we're just gonna make sure everything's making good contact there. We want the lash to stay glued down all day long. And then we're gonna grab the lash for the other side. I have a tiny bit of eye watering, so I'm gonna get that first. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna set that down right in the center. Set that down on the inside. Yeah, it doesn't really matter inside, outside. to start on one end or the other. Okay. And make sure it has good contact. I feel like this is lifted just tiny. There we go. And it'll take just a couple of seconds for that adhesive to fully adhere. Okay. That is not adhesive. That is eye-watering. Okay. So now we've got just about everything done. You can see the color that we've got going on there. Love that. Orange, just so pretty. And I love it with the contrast to that blue. Okay, so now we have everything where we want it to be. We are going to finish our look by saying our Bible verse, and then we're going to add a setting spray. So our Bible verse for this week is, be still and know that I am God. And that is Psalm 46:10. All right, so we're going to grab our Urban Decay. For me, that's the All-Nighter D-Slick. For you, that could be the Vitamin C. That could be the Glow, could be the Ultra Glow, could be the Ultra Matte, whatever it is, or whatever brand it is that you're using. If you don't have a setting spray that you love, come in and see me. We can test her through several different kinds and find then one that's going to work perfect for the finish that you want and also for your skin type. So we're just going to tip our head back and give that a couple of sprays. There we go. Let that dry down just a little bit. All right. Amazing. So let me come over here. There we go. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning as we put on our makeup with a little bit of beauty on the outside and a whole lot of beauty on the inside. You can catch up with me on social media throughout the week, or better yet, come see me in my store in Midlothian, Texas. So we are going to review our Bible verses so far. Can you believe this is episode 45? So if you've been hanging with me this whole time, you already have 44 verses under your belt. This will be the 45th verse. All right, so let's take a look. Well, actually, first, let me get this from scrolling across there. There we go. And now we're going to take a look at our Bible verse review. So see if you can say these verses as they flash along the screen. You ready? Here we go. right. Well, how did you do? I know a couple of those go super fast, but do your best. Take your time to review your memory verses where you don't have music setting limitations on you. All right. So just a reminder that all of our verses come from the Word and Color coloring book. You can see that QR code and that link on your screen right there. So that's just a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com/word and color. That'll get you to that right book there. So this has been a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. You can find this on your favorite podcast platform. That's going to be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You get it. All right. So let's sing a verse together as we have our blessing. You ready? Okay, here we go. The Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his face toward you and give you peace. Oh, Heavenly Father, how I thank you so much for each one of the people that have come and visited with us this morning, that have hung out, and we have learned how to treasure your word, to hide your word in our heart. Father, I just pray a blessing on these people, whether they're here with me now live or they're watching this later on, Father, that you would just bless them this week, help them to work diligently to work on these verses, Father, that they would be able to use them and to pull from them at times when they need encouragement or they may be down, or maybe some friends around them would have that same thing. Father, just help us to be a part of this scripture, Father, and that we would help it to be a living, breathing thing within us. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. All right. So it has been a beautiful time hanging out with you. I look forward to seeing you this week. Come check me out on a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus.com.